episode 2.
Episode 2, baby!
Of the Game Changers. First and foremost, you guys can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, X, Instagram, all that jazz at The Game Changers, ETB, Empty the Bench. Follow their podcast and everything that they have to offer. Follow ours, where all the good stuff is. We appreciate it. You can follow us on all those social medias and watch all of our video short clips podcasts on anywhere that you would get your podcasts, such as Apple, Spotify, YouTube, all that fun stuff. Next, let's go into our ad. Presented by Playback.
Yeah, Playback!
Watching sports is more fun with others, but we spend too much of our time watching alone. Playback is a virtual space where communities can stream live sports together with everyone perfectly synced up. Creators can now hop on stage, deliver their own play-by-play analysts and commentary, and invite other viewers up for a Q&A. Huge! Playback makes watching sports fully interactive and a social experience. From playing fantasy sports, repping your favorite players and teams, and watching the commentaries in communities you care about. Win or lose, sports are the best enjoyed together. Join our community by going to playback.tv/ETB network to find out more, including our live stream schedule.
You nailed that.
Check it out. Thank you.
Nailed that.
Can you tell I did it all in one breath?
Yeah, you nailed that. Now, before we really jump into the news and the exciting stuff, first of all, I'm here with Kelsey Darcy. I'm Mackenzie Meaney.
What's up, guys?
And I have a fun story.
This is water, by the way.
Yeah, Kelsey's drinking water. Please, nobody think anything differently. Fun story time. I was telling Kelsey about this earlier. I have a little bit of a Fortnite addiction, and it's bad.
Can confirm.
I play probably every night for 5 hours. It's bad. And this season of Fortnite sucks. I have yet this season to win a number 1 victory royale. It's very sad. Me and my friends, we are still on the hunt. However, last night I was playing with my friends, and of course I got my butt handed to me. And
the person, duos?
Yeah, we play duos once or twice. Kelsey's really bad, and I will expose her.
Yeah.
Anyways, I was playing.
My kids, if they ever watch this, are gonna be like, "Yeah, she sucks."
She's bad. I was playing, and the person that killed me, their username was Cam_Brink. So Cameron Brink, if you're out there watching this podcast, which I know you are because who isn't?
It's an honor.
It's an honor. Yeah, first of all, it's an honor to lose to you if that was in fact you, and it's an honor that you watch our podcast and listen to it. So thanks for shooting me in the head.
If it's not you and it's some little troll,
that's embarrassing.
Do better.
But you should try to get your name back.
Sav is gonna get her get back.
Yeah, and the number 1's coming. I swear.
Yeah. Her and I will run duos in a.
Yeah,
I'll tag team you.
I'll coach Kelsey up, and we'll get it going.
Yeah.
Anyways, now that we've got that out of the way,
our little
aside, we've got a lot of news this week. So much news broke.
All the news.
Big news week for the women's sports scene. Let's kick it off. You ready?
Shall we?
Let's do it.
We shall.
Let's do it.
All right. Okay.
Number one on the agenda is that Swin Cash, who is a WNBA legend in her own right, a basketball legend, a cool individual, a cool person, has become the senior vice president of basketball operations for the New Orleans Pelicans, which is awesome. She is now one of the highest ranking women in an NBA front office. So good for Swin Cash, good for women, good for basketball. Nothing bad to say.
Big win for basketball.
Big win for the NBA.
Basketball.
Big win for the NBA. And yeah, Swin Cash is it's hard to describe how good she was at basketball. She's a 3-time WNBA champ, twice with the Detroit Shock and once with the Seattle Storm, which is already a historic franchise.
Yep.
When we saw this news, I was very excited.
Mm-hmm.
Made me hopeful.
That's a good one.
Made me feel good.
You want to jump right into the next one?
Yeah.
Well, and all right, the irony about this next one, because we were talking about it in episode 1.
If you didn't listen to episode 1, go back, listen, and come back here.
Yeah, go back, come back. It'll be good. Sav was talking about Alex Morgan, and she was just like, I don't want to say the word deserves. But
she hadn't in my opinion, she hadn't put in enough work to prove that she deserved to be on the Olympic roster.
And I was like, whoa. I don't know much about soccer, but I do know that this is going to be something.
Big deal.
This is going to be something because I know enough about her. And, I mean, surprise, Sav was right.
Alex Morgan is not on the Olympic roster. She is not going to Paris.
first major tournament without Alex Morgan since 2008. I was 7 years old when she first started being on.
Tearing it up.
Yes. And now I'm 23. That's if I was
Talk about longevity.
If I was good and quick at math, that would be a lot of years.
Yeah, so this is the first major tournament without Alex Morgan. A lot of fans, casuals and non-casuals, were a little shocked by this move. I've been seeing a lot of people in this U.S. women's national team circle talking about how maybe Emma Hayes has made a roster that doesn't feature a lot of leadership, and Alex Morgan would have kind of been the perfect person to bring on for that. We will talk more about the U.S. women's national team Olympic roster a little bit later. Don't want to spoil too much about that. But yeah, Alex Morgan is already a 3-time Olympian. It stinks that she's not going. Her tweet and messages about it, she definitely was upset. But, I think she more cares about the team doing well and succeeding and kind of bouncing back from their down couple of years, I would say.
In your opinion, why? So we were talking about this before we started. I was like, did I miss something? Like, we were both reading it. Like, it doesn't entirely say, like, why. And she was like, she just didn't make it.
She just didn't make it.
She just couldn't hang with the other.
I don't know about couldn't hang.
No, but, like, in comparison to everyone else on the roster.
Yeah. She just didn't have her spot.
Yeah.
And I think it's tough to look at because a name like Alex Morgan is kind of like, you think about Alex Morgan, you think about the U.S. women's national team. You think about the U.S. women's national team, you think about Alex Morgan.
Whoa.
That's the second time today in the matter of like 5 minutes that we've said the same thing at the same time.
It's going to happen again, probably.
Yeah, it's our little telepathy. Anyways, like I said in the last episode, I didn't think that Alex Morgan had really done enough to prove that she deserved to be on the roster in the last 1.5 to 2 years. Another thing you have to consider is that they have a brand new coach in Emma Hayes. And I think at this moment in Emma Hayes' U.S. women's national team coaching career, we got to just trust the process. I think Emma Hayes has proved herself with Chelsea that she's a good coach. She knows what she's doing. I'm willing to trust the process. I'm sure Alex Morgan will be back there, but it also is like sad because what if this is kind of the ending of the chapters of Alex Morgan on the U.S. women's national team?
Yeah, I mean, maybe, but I have a feeling it might be, like, for example, like when Michael Phelps left, everyone was like, oh my God, the pool's going to be empty without him. And, like, she's been such a big part. Like, think of it with many GOATs with their specific sport. They're going to find a way to make an impact in other ways within their sport. And I have no doubt that she won't be able to do it. I don't think it's the end, whether she goes a coaching route or if she goes a commentary route. I don't know. I don't think it's done, though. Yeah. I don't.
And she still has the NWSL season, so we'll see her kicking butt there.
Absolutely.
Moving along, a little bit more soccer news. This one was really exciting to see. Barbra Banda, who plays in the NWSL for the Orlando Pride, is the first person in NWSL history to score 10 goals in their first 10 games.
Baller.
So, yeah. First of all, yeah, big baller. She was not allowed to play in WAFCON, which is the Women's Africa Cup of Nations, back in 2022 due to having elevated levels of testosterone naturally occurring, according to The Athletic. So it's nice to see that she's kind of getting her flowers and getting the recognition she deserves and showing that she's a baller.
It's just so crazy that she elevated level of testosterone.
Yeah. And I mean, we've seen that in other athletes. It was a big deal. Maybe it was Tokyo, but it might have been the Olympics before that with a couple of track runners. They also had like Caster Semenya had higher levels of testosterone, whatever that means. Interesting topic. That's not what we're here to talk about today, but I'm sure we'll talk about it later on a podcast. Yeah. But happy to see her getting her recognition. Speaking of Olympics,
this one
is good.
We both did our preview, and I was just like, this one I'm excited for. She was like, yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm so excited. Sha'Carri Richardson has qualified for the Olympics in the 100-meter. Mic drop, end of story.
Girl,
there she is. And
ran the fastest time in the world, 10.71.
That's like to qualify.
Like, you see her and she's gone. Like, she's just run across the street.
Uh-huh.
That's insane. Most people are familiar with it, what happened with her for Tokyo, but if you didn't know,
happening live when they were trying to figure out who's going to Tokyo,
Mhm.
I was like, how? Yes, did she break some rules? But like, if she's so good and so fast, I feel like, at some point, if it's just a little bit, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like there needs to be a definitive kind of marker of like how much is too much, how much is permissible. Is there any level of it to be permissible? And these are questions that we don't know the answers to. But I did think, she was so talented and so good, and it was so devastating to hear that news come out, hear that she would not qualify, would not be going to Tokyo. So I'm glad that she's finally getting the opportunity to go to Paris, represent the United States, and run fast and get a gold medal.
I wonder how, like, when it came for her drug test, I'm sure everyone was just like, oh, shoot, what's it going to be? Like, is it going to be in there again? But I think, I don't know, I see both sides of it. I understand, like, wanting to, everyone copes in different ways. Not that I'm condoning this, but I'm just saying everyone copes in different ways. But I think it's also tough, like, from a coach's aspect and from a kid that looks up to athletes a lot. If I was, like, a younger kid and I saw that, I could be like, what the heck? But now also, like, I don't know, you train your whole life and, like, these are the rules. So, I mean, it's tough.
Yeah.
There's no gray area with this one, but there should be, I feel like.
Yeah. And I mean, too, like you were just saying, you train your whole life to do this. It's unfortunate, like, the timing of it all, truly.
Exactly.
And there's other ways to cope. You don't have to turn to substances, but, it happened. It's over with. She's going to...
But she's back.
She's going to Paris. That's all that really matters. And we are very happy for her to see her, rise to the top again, hopefully.
Oh, I have no doubt she will.
And then more track news, because the trials were this past week. Athing Mu, who was the world champion in the 800 meter, she will not be going to the Olympics. She did not qualify in that event because she got tripped up in the crowd of runners and fell, which is very sad. I personally know what it's like to fall running because I fell running recently. Not that it is...
And she's braced up.
I did break my ankle, but it's all right. I'm back and better than ever, almost. Not that I know what it feels like to fall at the Olympic trials.
Big difference.
Big difference in running around your neighborhood.
Yeah, she was in her neighborhood and then sent me a picture after someone had to come pick her up.
Yeah.
Because she couldn't go home.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a struggle to get home. And I had also only been running for like 2 minutes. Don't run
her
down
legs
hills.
said, nah, not today.
Yeah, because I woke up that morning and I was like, I really don't want to run, but I should. I've been on my running grind. I should do it. I should have just listened to my gut. Anyways, not important. Not the moral of the story. We're talking about Athing Mu. She fell during the race, but there still is an opportunity for her to qualify in the 4x400. So hopefully she does that.
Yeah, I hope so too. Also, this is not on the sheet. I don't know if I can do this, but
Give it up.
A past kid that graduated from the school I work at just qualified. She's from
Oh,
Hamden.
yeah.
Fun fact, this is why I'm going to plug it. She was on my lacrosse team when we were in Hamden Youth many, many moons ago.
Well, there you go.
She would carry me around her back. She was jacked then. Like, literally just, like, better than everyone. Like, I remember watching her go, and I was like, this kid's fast as, like, oh, my God.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, she maintained that. So good.
And now she's going to Paris.
Good for you, Queen.
Shout out to her.
All right, next.
Hit us with it. What do you got?
No, I feel like you should do this one just because you just plugged.
Oh, I did just plug Cameron Brink. You're right. Okay, so Dearica Hamby has replaced Cameron Brink for the Olympics 3-on-3 squad.
It's because Cameron Brink is too busy playing Fortnite against Mackenzie.
No.
Obviously.
Cameron Brink is too busy in recovery for her torn ACL, which might include some downtime to play Fortnite
against Mackenzie.
We don't know. Jury's still out if that was her or not. I'm going to believe it was because then, it's kind of an honor to get 8th place and lose by getting shot in a little silly video game by Cameron Brink. Anyways, they were both teammates on the Los Angeles Sparks. Dearica Hamby's been tearing it up. Straight up. She's been tearing it up. She deserves this opportunity. I'm happy she gets to go. It's got to be a little bit sad that she's replacing a teammate of hers. And that, again,
who's been such an impact.
Who's been such an impact player for them.
All around.
Had the opportunity to go. Can't go anymore. But, I'm excited for her. I'm excited to watch the 3-on-3 team hopefully win. They won it in Tokyo. So who's to say they can't run it back?
I think they can.
There we go.
Okay. Is it Ziyu?
Yeah. So
Okay.
Our next news is more basketball because now we're in the basketball part
Yes.
of our little show, our little recap.
So China's own Zhang Ziyu. I mean, talk about baller. Posted up 55 points
In 2 games.
in 2 games in the 18 under. I think how old was she? It was like
I think she's 17.
16 or 17. Yeah, she came up on my X feed the other
Or
day.
18.
I don't know. Guys,
Oh, she's 18. She's 18. Kelsey just can't read. It's on the sheet, babe.
no, that says she put 55 points in the under U18s.
Bestie.
Yep, if you keep reading. Well, any Yahuza. Homie is 7'3". That is crazy.
That would be if you tripled me. If you put 3 of me on top of each other.
Like, I'm so short. We're both short.
Yeah.
We're both.
It's probably not 3. It's probably more like 2. But anyways.
Probably like 2.5. I don't know. I get chirped for my height all the time.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, hear me out. Would you rather be chirped for being short or tall?
I guess sure. I have no experience of being chirped for being tall.
I feel like I would want to be chirped for being tall. Like, imagine your POV is just always...
Yeah, you're looking down on everybody.
Yeah, I feel like that's got to be, like, a good ego thing. Like,
You reach things on
what'd you
high
say?
shelves.
What'd you say? Oh, you need me to get that from the store? Oh, I got you. Not me.
I can't.
Not me.
Couldn't be me.
I'm asking for help.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm asking help from people like her.
yes, like her. And by the way, like I wish we could like move this and like demonstrate what it looked like, but we won't. But it essentially was just like everyone else, her, and then like the people trying to guard her are just like doing like bunny hops, and she's just like effortlessly grabbing the ball and then just like
Dropping it in.
she's like, oh, that's
Put the
it.
money in the
That's it.
bank.
Literally, where do I keep my money?
In the bank. Anyways, so like we said, she's 18 years old now. She must be at least 20 years old to declare for the WNBA draft. 2 more years of playing professional style basketball. Is there WNBA potential? I don't see why not, personally.
I wouldn't see why not.
Assuming that she continues to put up crazy points like that. The tallest person to ever play in the WNBA was Margot Didek, who's 7'2", which is an inch
1
shorter.
inch shorter.
But-
But like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
All-time WNBA blocks leader also, by the way. Shout out to Margot for that.
I mean, if you're that tall, you better be.
yeah.
Like, if you're not, that's embarrassing, I feel like. It's very interesting to see, like, you hear stories all the time about kids that are, like, wicked tall from, like, a young age, and then, like, how it affects them, like, over the years, and, like, with their joints, and they're more prone to, like, breaking things and everything like that. So, wishing her just, like, all the success and keeping it going and, like, just staying healthy because, I mean, she got some height.
Yeah.
She got it.
That some WNBA teams could use, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely.
All right.
Next.
Last bit of WNBA news before we move on to something else. But the Minnesota Lynx won their first ever Commissioners Cup. They beat the New York Liberty, who were the reigning Commissioner Cup champions, 94-89. Kelsey and I, before this, were talking. What a phenomenal celebration! They were having the
Their
time
videos
of
were
their
so
lives.
funny.
Their videos were so funny. Courtney Williams, the funniest WNBA player, and I will say that, and I will stand on business with that.
Oh, you're standing on business.
I'm standing on business saying that Courtney Williams is the funniest WNBA player.
Is that the one where, like, the video?
Where she's like, I ain't never won anything,
yeah.
but here I am.
But here I am. Yeah,
So
Sab was
funny.
like, did you see the videos? I was like, I don't think I did. I was like, show me real quick. She showed me one of them, and they're just like, I ain't ever win. And they're bawling, still in Jersey, drinking in the locker room.
Yeah, bottle
Like,
of Hennessy, very
literally
visible.
bottle of Henny, and they're chilling in the freaking
They're
locker
having
room.
so much fun. Anyways, they won $500,000, which was split amongst the players for winning the game. And they also donated $27,000 to their selected nonprofit, which is Gender Justice. So shout out to them for not only making bank and also donating some bank to a charity that could use it.
Agreed. Got to share the wealth.
Nafisa Collier won the MVP with 21 points and 6 rebounds. I'm blanking on her name, but another player scored 23 points. So shout out to the Lynx. They're here to play, and I think this kind of proves that we were just coming out of a WNBA season last year full of everybody labeling these teams as super teams. You had the Liberty, you had the Aces. Everybody kind of knew from the start that was probably going to be the finals matchup. That's what the finals matchup was. But I think this season we're kind of experiencing, and I don't know if it's because of the rookie class. I don't know if it's more people are watching and buying tickets and whatever else surrounding the sport. But I think we're witnessing that anybody who can ball is balling, and they're winning, and there's no way to tell who's going to be in the finals a couple months from now. There's no way to tell how it's all going to go. So I'm really excited because a team like the Minnesota Lynx you don't really hear about anymore. You heard about them a lot when Maya Moore was playing. You're going to hear about them now. And now we're hearing about them again. So happy to see them winning. Happy to see a bunch of other teams winning. And just makes me excited. Makes me excited about the WNBA season. What can I say? Just love them. So that's the news. That's the news that we had. Now we're going to switch gears. I know we had mentioned earlier about the U.S. Women's National Team when we were talking about Alex Morgan. So Kelsey and I thought it would be a good idea to give our own takes on breaking down this Olympic roster.
Can you tell Sab's passionate about something?
Yeah, I have a whole cheat sheet ready for us to go.
Because I'm not.
For our people not watching and people listening on Spotify or wherever else, Kelsey just pulled up a two-page sheet of information that I had compiled for two of us to talk about.
Which I just also want the reference because she gave us the rundown of what we were going to talk about, and I was like, looks good. And I was like, Sab, I gotta be straight up. I gotta refresh. Also, this is really loud. Sorry for speaking in the mic.
Yeah, Kelsey.
I'm like, yeah, guys.
Don't yell at them.
Sorry.
We love our fans.
We do love all three of them.
Water break.
She was like, I was like, I'm gonna need a cheat sheet or something because I'm not in the soccer realm the way that you're in the soccer realm.
And I said, say less.
She said, say less. I swear to God, she texted me.
I did this in an hour.
Literally, sped through so fast. Just absolutely crushed it.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's chat. Let's talk. Let's discuss. We're going to run it down. We're going to start from basically the back to the front. So we're going to go with goalkeepers, and we're also including the alternates. Sorry, I just had to move the microphone, so hopefully that didn't mess up how we sounded. Starting with our goalkeepers. The goalkeepers that were named to the roster are Casey Murphy from the North Carolina Courage, Alyssa Nair from the Chicago Red Stars, and the alternate goalkeeper is Jane Campbell of the Houston Dash. I think this is kind of how I expected it to be.
This is hilarious.
Yeah, I wrote little notes, Kels.
So good.
This is kind of what I expected it to be. That those three have kind of always been the rotation for U.S. Women's National Team these days. I mean, Alyssa Nair is kind of a no-brainer. She's been the goalie for so long and was so important to the team, winning World Cups, winning medals, winning games. Whenever they need somebody, Alyssa Nair is usually the first person they call. She's one of, I believe, 3 players on the roster who are now going to be 3-time Olympians, minus Alex Morgan because she's not on the roster. Alex Morgan would have made it 4, but I digress. She leads the NWSL in most appearances by a goalkeeper and most saves all time, which I think is so impressive. She's also from Connecticut, which is where Kelsey and I are recording this at. And yeah, I think Alyssa Nair was kind of a no-brainer for me. Casey Murphy, again, is a no-brainer, but she's a first-time Olympian, so shout out to her. She'll get her Olympic rings tattoo if she so chooses.
I have a question.
Yes.
So they have these 3.
Yes.
And then are they essentially fighting for said starting spot now? Or are they just traveling? I think
they're all traveling. I wouldn't necessarily say there's any fighting for spots now that the roster's been decided.
No, but who's going to start first?
That's up to Emma Hayes. I would personally see it probably as Alyssa Nair. But it might be a situation because they have to play basically kind of groups games to go into the quarterfinals, semifinals, stuff like that. So it could be Alyssa Nair plays 2 games, gets a rest, Casey Murphy goes in, and Jane Campbell, who we're about to talk about, is there as an alternate. So if they get sick or hurt, Jane Campbell will step in. Jane Campbell, 2023 NWSL Goalkeeper of the Year. She's good. She's solid.
One might say.
And as of recording this, she leads the NWSL in saves this season currently. So I think the goalkeeper situation is good. I think we're solid there. I don't have any notes at the moment.
No notes.
No notes at the moment for the goalkeepers.
All right, moving on. Defenders. We got 6. Oh, God, I'm going to butcher these names.
No, you're not. Believe in yourself.
Tierna Davidson.
Yeah, say it with a little bit more confidence.
Was that right?
Yeah, Tierna Davidson.
Tierna Davidson. Oh, she's from Gotham?
Yes.
Word. Emily Fox. Naomi
Girma.
Casey Kruger?
Washington
Spirit. Oh, familiar.
Jenna Nightswanger,
which is like so cool of a name. Also from Gotham.
A lot of
and
Gotham.
Then Emily Sonnet.
Yeah. You did it! And you didn't think you would be able to get through all those names. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah. And then alternate, there's none. But
no defensive alternates.
Let's dissect.
All right. Starting with Tierna Davidson, 2-time Olympian now, second Olympics. The U.S. Women's National Team website is an interesting entity of the internet. Because some players have the most in-depth, like, things about them, and other ones are just, like, how many caps they have, and, like, their stats. But the U.S. Women's National Team website describes her as a center back with a playmaker's mentality.
I love the word mentality. It's always like that Mamba mentality. Like they're always they just throw it in there.
Not you describing mentality with another mentality. We got the giggles this episode. Anyways, Tierna Davidson's kind of really good. Like
she's kind of really good.
Anybody on this roster is really good. Honestly, I am happy with the full roster, but we'll get into that. Tierna Davidson has kind of been a lock for a couple of years now with the team. Her playing time has kind of fluctuated between like playing a lot of minutes, but also not a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited to see how Emma Hayes utilizes her in the backfield, especially now that there is no Becky Sauerbrunn. Becky Sauerbrunn is not on the roster. So somebody's got to step up and play that position, and hopefully Davidson can do it.
Hopefully. Emily Fox.
First timer. Welcome to the Olympics.
Rookie. Not actually, but like rookie to the Olympics.
Yeah, she's so good. She's
speedy.
Oh, so fast. She plays for Arsenal, which that's cool. That's a big time club, big time deal.
Wicked good both defensively and offensively. So I'm excited to see what she can do. I hope she can. I mean, if you're that good and you're at the Olympics, I'm sure you have all the nerves, but you've been coached and trained for so long that I'm sure she's able to, for the most part, compress it. You hope that the big stage doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't
stage
affect her. And she's just super quick, like Kelsey said. Very good up and down the wing. I'm sure that's probably where we'll see her flying in the most, in that outside position. And she just holds it down. Like, she's just very good defensively, and she's very good at, like, reading the play and being like, okay, what's next, and running it up the field. Now we get to talk about my personal, like, top
I'm gonna let her take this one.
My top right now current favorite players always fluctuate and rotate. But Naomi Girma is the glue that holds the back line together.
For those of you that aren't watching the video, I'm holding this up. She just starts writing in all caps for her. Like,
I love Naomi Girma.
Like, everything is just in all caps. Everything else is like sectioned off perfectly, underlined, like for the important all caps.
Yep.
I'm gonna let you take her.
I will read exactly what I wrote because I will stand on it and I will defend it. This is what I wrote. Naomi Girma. Love her. So talented. So good. Literally holds the back line together, like I just said. First-time Olympian. One day she will be remembered like all the U.S. Women's National Team greats. End of discussion. Over. Done.
One day. She's already making the name.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people, well, I guess I can't speak for people who aren't casuals because I'm not a casual. So, like, I live and breathe this team every single day of my life.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't
really,
truly.
You couldn't tell.
I know. I should have worn my jersey today. I didn't even think about it. I have a jersey, but it's like the old one where it's like red on top or blue on top, white stripe, then red on the bottom.
That is old. That's sick.
Yeah, that's like really old. That might be from like the 2015 World Cup.
We'll have to like live. We should do one of our podcasts where we just live watch one of the games.
You know where else we could do that? Playback.tv Empty the Bench Network.
That was awesome. That was not planned.
So yeah, I love Naomi Girma. I just think she's so good. And I think she's so talented. And I really do think that like I think a lot of people didn't know who she was prior to the Women's World Cup in Australia. And I think she really just like showed up and showed out and like showed everybody that like when everything else around you is chaos and is failing, she's there.
She ain't.
And she also
she's like, I got you.
And this is a bit of a side note, but she wrote a really sweet thing talking about, I'm blanking on her name, but the Stanford goalie who committed suicide. They were teammates.
Oh.
She wrote a really sweet thing in the Players Tribune about her, which I thought was very sweet and kind of speaks about the type of person she is and the type of teammate she is. Anyways, moving along.
Next.
We've got Casey Kruger.
Second-time Olympic
Second time.
appearance. So, second-timer. Has had a lot of injuries,
Yeah,
though.
throughout her career, she has kind of missed things here and there. ACL injuries, ankle injuries. Kind of tough to see, brutal to witness, but
arguably overlooked by the former head coach.
Vlatko overlooked so many people, and she was one of them. She deserved a lot more opportunity.
Do you know how passionate she is about this?
I'm also a noted Vlatko hater.
No, we know. Like,
I'm a noted Vlatko hater, and I'm a noted Lindsey Horan hater, but we've been over that already.
We have been.
And we'll get to that when we get to her on the roster.
Yes.
But yeah, Casey Kruger's just like she deserves more of an opportunity. I'm interested to see how Emma Hayes uses her on this roster because the 3 people we've already talked about are going to be an outside back and the 2 center backs probably. I think Casey Kruger might not play all the games, or if she plays, she'll come off the bench. I really don't see her as a starter at this moment, but I could always eat my words. We'll just have to wait and see. And then we've got Jenna Nightswanger, who Kelsey was very scared to pronounce her name, but that is how you say it. What a young gun!
It's just a cool name.
Like what a good young.
You're gonna
player.
say what a good name.
And what a good name. But what a good young player. Rookie of the year last year for the NWSL.
First-timer and a rookie.
First-timer. She's like 21, 22, 23 years old. One of those ages.
24, 25.
No, she's not that old. I think she's probably 22. But she's a first-time Olympian. I'm excited to just see her tear it up. She's a little quick one, too.
She is speedy with it. Jiggy with it.
Mm-hmm. And
as
then,
we would say.
Last but not least,
Emily Sonnet.
Another piece of the glue that holds the team together, I would say. Emily Sonnet. 2-time Olympian now.
What a vet.
Yeah, she holds up that veteran presence that I think a lot of people were worried about the team wouldn't have because Alex Morgan isn't there. But I think a lot of people forget the fact that like Emily Sonnet has been on the U.S. Women's National Team for like 10 years. Talk about veteran. 10 years is a long time.
She earned her spot.
Yeah.
Does it say who the captains are?
It doesn't, but Lindsey Horan has been the captain, and I'm sure she will continue to be the captain.
Got it. That makes sense.
Again, another veteran player, but we're not there yet. Emily Sonnet didn't really see any minutes in the World Cup, again, because I'm a known Vlatko hater. I think Vlatko just didn't know how to use her and where to put her. But she can do it all, in my opinion. And she, I don't know if you remember seeing those viral clips of her and Kelly O'Hara just, like, basically coaching the team because Vlatko didn't know what to do. So, she, like, in, like, team huddles and timeouts and, like, things, like, her and Kelly O'Hara were just being like, let's go. Like, let's rock. Let's get it going.
Yeah.
All right. Defense, done. We're moving up to the middle part of the field, arguably where the midfielders hang out.
Do you want me to read the names again?
Yeah, go for
it. Corbin Albert.
From PSG.
Sam Coffey.
Yep, Portland Thorns legend.
Lindsey Horan.
Don't even get me started.
I can't even say the name.
Mm-hmm.
Rose Lavelle.
We'll
edit the other one. From Gotham as well. A lot of Gotham.
Yeah, a lot of Gotham representation.
Holy cow.
And then Katerina Messiaro from Chelsea.
That makes sense.
And then the alternates are Hal Hirschfeld and Croy Bethune.
Thank God you said those.
Yeah,
two.
I don't think you were going to get them. That's why I stepped in, babe.
I was not going to get them. I actually do want to talk about this one because during my little break, I was like looking up about this because I was like, this is interesting.
Yeah, so I think we got to start with the elephant in the room at midfield, which is good old Corbin Albert.
First-time Olympian.
First-time Olympian, so, something to be said
about that.
First-time Olympian,
but already in the hot seat.
Been in the hot seat.
What are you doing, babe?
Yep.
She's been in the hot seat for making homophobic and transphobic comments and was called out by Megan Rapinoe. Yeah, I don't know why I said Rapinoe. Called out, we'll edit that. Called out by Megan Rapinoe because of it. HC Emma Hayes
as head coach.
Coach Emma Hayes has responded saying she put Albert on the roster due to her versatile and that her and the team are working on the matter internally.
Yeah.
If you're going to get called out by someone,
you got to own up to it.
But like Megan Rapinoe is the one to be like,
Yeah, yeah.
Nope.
If anybody else is going to call her out, whatever. But that's Megan Rapinoe. She
Rapinoe
also wears 15, which was Megan Rapinoe's number.
Oh.
Yeah.
You got to rep it well, babe.
Yeah, but basically how it all started was I believe she put like somebody talking about homophobic and transphobic things on her story. Mm-hmm. And she had also liked a story or liked a post relating to Megan Rapinoe being injured in a game, and basically some hater was like, she deserved it, probably, something like that.
And she liked that?
And she liked it. So,
Ooh.
yeah, not really great things, especially if you know you're going to one day hopefully have the opportunity to represent the United States. I honestly had never heard of Corbin Albert until I heard about all of these things. And Sam Mewis, who is a retired U.S. Women's National Team player, who is a phenomenal player also. Sam Mewis put it kind of really well in her show that she does. It's just basically saying, like, you know, you have to trust the process. You have to trust that Emma Hayes and, you know, all of the people in the national camp are really dealing with this and trying to help her kind of realize what she did was wrong. They've said that they want to try to create, you know, a place where fans belong and feel welcomed and are important to this. And a lot of people have been making jokes with, now that Alex Morgan is not on the roster, there are people tweeting and saying things like, remember when the team was Alex Morgan and 10 lesbians? Like, and you have a player like that who is coming on and very clearly doesn't support these things and support equality and wants to be, or maybe doesn't want to be like that anymore, but was once like that in their time. And so it's just going to be interesting to see, you know, how it goes. I don't know how many minutes Corbin Albert will play. I was just about to say that.
I was going to say, how do you...
If she will even play, you know.
Yeah, I wonder if they even give her minutes. I mean, for the head coach to respond and say that she's on the roster to the first half. But, like, what is working on it internally? Like, what do you think that looks like to them? Because I feel like a lot of coaches are like, yeah, their PR team is probably like, we're working on it, we're adjusting it. Like, let them know that we're doing something about it. But, like, obviously that's an elephant in the room. And then also, like, what do you think her locker room experience has been like since? Like, knowing that, like, you yourself are putting that target on your back, which now has a target on USA's team's back, essentially. Yeah. And former players such as Megan Rapinoe is calling it out, and you're wearing her jersey. Like, you gotta represent it well. And it's just, I don't know, that's messy.
Yeah. So we'll see how it all plays out. In terms of how it is in the locker room, I would kill to be a fly on the wall.
I know. Everyone just like tap and be like, "What was that?"
Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure that the players recognize that, and I feel like you got to give her the benefit of the doubt. And I bet you all the other players are giving her the benefit of the doubt that she is trying to work on it and realize that what she had said was wrong and how to make it better.
I love your comment for the next one. Moving on to Sam Coffey.
Yeah,
first-time Olympian, reliable.
Yeah, she's just reliable. She's reliable midfielder. What do you
go from like first timer and heated on the hot seat and all this stuff to she's reliable.
She is reliable, and I think she'll probably see a lot more minutes.
You'd much rather reliable than the blurb that we just had to do.
Yeah. So and she's played some minutes with Vlatko, the former coach. And I'm excited to see how she gets worked in. I think the midfield for this team specifically is very interesting to look at because we're kind of so used to like a U.S. Women's National Team midfield being like, at least at this point, Lindsey Horan, Rose Lavelle, and sometimes Emily Sonnet rotated in there. Becky Sauerbrunn rotated in there. Now we have so many other people we can use in the midfield that it'll just be interesting to see how they all play out. And that's the same thing with Sam Coffey. I see it kind of being a moment, maybe like Casey Kruger, where it's not every game she plays, but she might get some starting minutes in other games. It'll just depend on the opponents and things like that. But yeah, Sam Coffey's good, and I think
no notes.
Yeah, no notes. She's just a reliable gal. Can't blame her. Now we get to talk about Lindsey Horan.
I've been waiting for this one.
3-time Olympian, which is cool, I guess. She's a gets under your skin type of player, which we saw when they played the Netherlands in the World Cup, getting super angry and then scoring a goal and also like knocking somebody to the ground and also heading the ball and having the other person who she headed the ball against be bleeding. Like a little interesting things. Lindsey Horan is a great soccer player, and I will not say that she's not. She can score goals. She's the captain of this team for, reasons that I don't know and I don't really care about personally. But she's the captain, which obviously means something, holds some weight, gives her a title. And she's good. She is good. As much as I want to be a hater and as much as I don't enjoy watching her play because she annoys me, she's good. And The roster needs somebody like that.
I mean, you've got to be good if this is your third Olympic experience and you're the captain. Like, gotta be.
Yeah.
There's something that we aren't seeing.
Yeah. Roosevelt, 2-time Olympian. Another
so
one
good with the ball.
She's just talented. She's really good. I think her work speaks for herself.
Mm-hmm.
It was very upsetting that she had gotten a second yellow during the World Cup, that she couldn't play in the game that they were ultimately eliminated on.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited to just see how she bounced back in response to that.
Unbelievably talented.
Unbelievably talented, in my opinion.
Is the notes.
And then Katarina, first-time Olympian. She was coached by Emma Hayes at Chelsea, which I think is why she might have gotten a little bit of an edge over some other people.
Mm-hmm.
But what a comeback. She was injured. She tore her ACL in 2022 and just returned in March.
It's a crazy time frame to be like, I'm back!
Just returned in March. And don't know how she'll really do her play or anything, but she's good. And the two alternates, both first-time Olympians, both there just in case. So it'll just be nice to see how it all works out.
Good.
Forward time. Back at the top. We've got
Crystal Dunn from Gotham, Trinity Rodman from Spirit, Sophia Smith from the Portland Thorns, Jaden Shaw from San Diego Wave, and Mallory Swanson from Chicago Red Stars.
And the alternate is Lynn Williams, also from Gotham. So there's got to be at least 6 people from Gotham on this team.
Which honestly is probably going to be really beneficial because they have that chemistry and they know, people don't realize how crucial that really is. But if you can go in there and stack a team knowing exactly how your team plays rather than just being thrown together, I mean, granted we're comparing the Olympics to club tournaments, but for us, it was always a lot more beneficial when our club team has, practiced before we went to go to a big tournament. So this is going to be great. They have that chemistry. They know how the other person plays. So
exactly,
it's going to be clutch.
And so this forward group, I really kind of just saw them exactly what I expected. I think if you go back to our first episode of the podcast, I kind of named a bunch of these people and said they were either going to be on or not, and I think my takes were all correct, personally.
Yeah, they're pretty much.
A little humble brag there. But yeah, a fun story about Crystal Dunn. She's married to my youth soccer coach.
What?
Yeah, she's married to my youth soccer coach, Pierre.
He's got to come through be like, Pierre, it's me.
It's me.
It's me, Mackenzie.
Yeah. So yeah, she's married to Pierre, who is my youth soccer coach. There's a little fun fact of the day. Crystal Dunn also now has played on defense, in the midfield, and forward for the U.S. Women's National Team.
Swiss Army knife.
Exactly. It's also a 3-time Olympian. Trinity Rodman and Sophia Smith, I believe, are both first-time Olympians. So happy to see them getting the nod. And they're two players that are just they play very well together. Whenever they come together for U.S. women's games, they just tear it up. And then we've got Jaden Shaw, who is the youngest on the roster.
How old is she?
19 years old.
Holy
And
cow.
the average age of the team, I saw the U.S. Women's National Team Instagram post this.
I think I just saw this on Instagram. I want to look it up.
You look it up to fact check me, but I believe that the average age of this team is 20 years old. 20.8 years old or something like that.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And Mallory Swanson also coming back from an injury. She's been back for a little bit while now, but she missed the World Cup due to injuring. I think she tore her patellar tendon, or she injured her patella in some way. So happy to see her back. She's another one who just really kind of holds it down. And Lynn Williams is unbelievably talented, a great alternate. Obviously, I think I would have liked to see her in the forward pool rather than as an alternate. But she'll come through for them if they need her. And I think that's all I really got. I mean, I think
she is young. Holy cow.
I think on paper this is probably as predictable as a team could have gotten. I do think it's solid. I do think they have a chance, and I do think with the Emma Hayes system, they'll hopefully perform a little bit better. But I mean, we have to also remember that we're at a time in international soccer where the U.S. was so high and was so good for so long. Now all of the other teams are catching up, but it would be unreal if they win gold. Absolutely incredible if they win gold.
We're not going to hear the end of it if they do.
Yeah, you're right.
From you.
You're right. I will not stop talking about it.
Okay. We're good with it.
So yeah, that's our U.S. Women's National Team moment here. We'll take a break now from doing that because Kelsey doesn't want to talk about it anymore, which I don't blame her. Sometimes
It's not that I don't. It's just like, I don't know.
you're not as into it as me, and I get it.
Yeah.
Not everybody can be.
It's not that I'm that as. That's funny. I'll give it to you.
Thank
It's not that I'm not into it. It's just one of those things that I just. There's just so many. Like, it's just such a large organization that like following it is like.
Big history with it.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
Moving along, bestie. What's coming up next week? You tell us.
Ahead next week.
Yeah, we got to flip the page of our notes.
Wimbledon.
Woo! I love tennis.
That was my serve.
Yeah, what
My
was
little
that
backhand.
noise?
I got a better fun fact in pickleball and in tennis. I have a better backhand serve than a forehand. I don't know why, but I do. See, now look who's playing with the knot.
I just want to hold it.
They're so much fun. All right, so we got 3 former champs in the field. Oh God, you kill me with these names.
Do you want me to read them?
I feel like Dave Portnoy. Have you ever watched one of his things where it's like the highlight reel of him just butchering every name for like seasons on seasons? Where it's just like,
Yeah, somebody's gonna make one of those of you now.
please. Okay.
Give me your best shot.
It's gotta be the music was like doo doo doo.
Yeah, a little Jeopardy.
Is that
thinking
Angelica?
moment. Angelique. I'll read them. Okay, we have 3 former champs in the field. Angelique Kerber, who won it in 2018. Elena Rybakina, who won it in 2022. And Marketa von Rosova. I don't think I said that right, but I tried my best. Who won it in 2023.
Sounded good.
So 3 former champs are in the field. And then on top of that, we've got a couple of people returning, such as Naomi Osaka, who it will be back. So fun to watch her play again. We talked about it last podcast, but Emma Raducanu is back from being injured. Iga you know, had a little bit of a moment there. My bad. Iga Swiatek, again, tried my best. I should know it because she's the world number 1.
And Coco Gauff.
And Coco Gauff, who's the world number 2. They will also be there.
They're competing. That's going to be fun.
They're going to be competing. I don't believe like the bracket, so to speak, of who's playing who is out yet at the time of recording, but again, could be wrong.
My money's on Coco Gauff.
You think Coco Gauff will run it?
Yeah, I do think she'll run it. And I will actually probably go check that. Let's just see these odds
Of her winning?
on DraftKings.
Not you betting right now. Don't promote it right now. That's not a sponsor.
We don't condone.
Bet at your
betting.
own risk, I suppose, or whatever you're supposed to say. Gambling is a bad addiction. We don't condone it. Anyways, they're all competing. I think I'm just excited because I feel like tennis tournaments don't happen. Like, not that they don't happen very frequently, but there's like a weird amount of time between tournaments. So I'm excited to just watch a tournament. They also play on grass, so that's an interesting
Yes, and so it's just like
surface and how it affects certain players.
surface.
Like it's not tennis can be played on a variety of surfaces, and I feel like the last major tournament wasn't played on grass.
They don't have it up yet.
Yeah, so
Sorry.
we won't know, but that's all right. But yeah, I'm excited for Wimbledon. I wasn't really a tennis person, and then I went to go see the US Open one day because tickets were like hella cheap. And I went
Now we're gonna get the little explicit button again.
that's all right.
The little
The little E next to the podcast.
that doesn't look like an E.
Yeah, I don't know what you're doing there.
It does look like
I went and I saw it, and then I was like, okay, tennis is actually so fun.
my brother and my dad are both tennis players,
Oh,
and they're like actually kind of good. It's weird.
they should go to Wimbledon.
They were going to because my brother. They went to something in August, like last year for my brother's birthday.
Probably US Open.
Yeah, I think it was the US Open. Yeah. Now
this is where Kelsey gets to have her moment.
Moving
on from tennis to
gymnastics.
gymnastics.
So the Olympic trials started. Today's Friday. They started yesterday. I'm pretty sure it was like 6:00. They were starting. Simone Biles is definitely gonna get back. I think if she doesn't, I don't know. That'd be weird. I think Jordan Chiles is definitely back in the running for that as well. The two of them, it's so funny. They were like posting like their little TikToks of them like in the recovery pool. But what I find really interesting this time around is that Simone Biles, if anyone watched any of her previous interviews before, it basically was just like she basically told her coach essentially one time. It was like her husband Jonathan and her coaches, and she was just like, I want to go back to the Olympics. And they literally looked at her and they were like, no. And she was like, what? Like, what you guys are supposed to like coach me, like cheer me on. And they're like, we will like get you back in a gym and we will go from there. We can't hit from the start that you want to go back to the Olympics. And, you know, she said from there, she's like, if I'm going to do the Olympics again, she's like, I want to do it, but I want to make sure that I'm doing it where I'm still keeping my peace this time. Mm-hmm. And like even yesterday, she posted on her Instagram story. It was like after the Olympic trials, and then she was like date night, and her and Jonathan went out and got dinner afterwards. And I'm like, yeah, me too. Like just totally gonna go
tear it up on the beam,
and then whatever.
Go get dinner
with my boyfriend or her
husband.
I know, my bad. But like I just meant like for me, like I wouldn't be like, well, let me just go.
Yeah, I would be so nervous. I'd be on edge all night.
I know. I wouldn't be able to eat.
Yeah.
I'd be like, eating. No, I can't. Like,
and that's why we're not professional athletes.
Yep, that's probably one of the several reasons why we're not. But that's one of them.
Definitely one of them.
But yeah, I think that's super exciting to see how that's all gonna go. I know I'll be watching it. I also live for the commentary with Ali Raisman and Nastia Luke, and I think they're amazing, and I can't wait to see how that's gonna go. And also, I think the USA like gymnastics team, they gotta like, I don't know. Tokyo was just such a weird time for them. I feel like it was
for everybody, kind of.
It was for everyone because it was obviously COVID, it was pandemic, and then shit hit the fan when, you know, everything happened with Simone Biles and everyone was freaking out about her. But I'm like, holy crap, like she's at the Olympics, she's got to worry about herself and her mental health. And then also that was the first Olympics post, you know, everything with Athlete A that came out from Netflix with their former old trainer who was Larry Nassar, terrible human being, who was sexually assaulting all of these athletes, which is just terrible. So they had a huge target going onto their back for 2020. I wouldn't say target, but more just like all eyes were on them. Yeah, like all eyes. I wouldn't say target because that can come off wrong, but like people were looking at them. Mm-hmm. And whereas when they went in Rio, everyone was looking at them because they swept. They just swept, and now they have some of those other eyes looking at them. So I'm very excited to see where this will go.
Yeah, and I think too with the past Olympics, like Simone Biles, I feel like really had to kind of, with her choosing to step away and take care of herself and her mental health, really sparked a conversation of like, what does mental health look like for athletes?
Yeah,
how do we better support the mental health of athletes? Because everybody has mental health struggles, regardless of if you're Olympian, if you're a high school player, if you're anywhere in between.
You can coach, like everyone.
Yeah,
coaches.
Everybody goes through some type of mental thing about, you know, are you good enough, for example? You know, everybody's watching me. Am I going to be able to perform at this high level? Will I be able to satisfy the people who came to watch and only came because they wanted to see me and I'm their favorite athlete? That's a lot of pressure to put on somebody. And I think Simone Biles, like you were saying, like this is now her moment to prove that like she's back and she can do this. And she's overcome something really difficult that the whole world had to watch her go through.
I think the other thing that she's probably going to do that's really exciting to watch is that, like going back before when you're talking about mental health and with her, is that she's going to do it and it's going to be her way this time. Where before, you know, she was kind of just doing it. However, this is what the coaches were telling her. And of course, her coaches are going to coach her in every way that they can. But it's going to be a little bit more, I don't want to say lenient, but I think she's going to have a little bit more say in the training of what she can and can't do in that moment because no one wants a repeat of what it was. Mm-hmm. And it's very interesting, just like being coaches now versus being a player. Again, not in the Olympic world, but just in general. I had someone tell me and through my coaches thing that you can't coach a kid the way that you were once coached. And so like, I know for me, my coaching style 2 years ago to now, completely different. Mm-hmm. Completely different. I'm checking in with these kids all the time, always being like, what can I do? Like just taking the feedback, like, and just literally after every practice, we do a check-in. Mm-hmm. We're like, where are we at? Because because that's the only way that you can like make sure you can like be like, okay, like, I don't know. For me personally, like I will never want to be the reason a kid is burnt out of a sport.
I agree.
Because like what people don't realize is like when a lot of these kids are sports, it's like it's their identity in a lot of different ways. Mm-hmm. So I'd never want to be the reason to take that away from a kid ever. Yeah.
Other things we should
My
talk
quick
about.
little rant. Sorry.
Other things we should talk about. Suni Lee. Let's talk about her for a minute there.
Yes.
Having to like basically retire from college gymnastics
I know
due
because
to
you can't do it.
her like kidney issue, her medical issue,
Yeah.
and now she's trying to come back. Good
She's
for
like,
her.
I'm gonna get my get back.
Exactly.
Also,
It'll be really exciting to see who gets named to this Olympic roster for gymnastics. And I believe they will take care of business because they always take care of
They
business.
do. They
personally.
really do. They always show up on top. It's gonna be very interesting to watch. I'm excited.
All right. Anything else we're throwing in? Any last thoughts?
No, but I'm sure
Comments,
once we stop
concerns?
recording, I'll have all the thoughts, and then
Well-
all come to me, and I'll be driving, and I'll be like, "Oh, forgot to mention that."
We'll just have to mention it next week.
Uh-oh.
Next week.
Forgot to mention that one.
It's all right. Well, that's all we got for you. Thanks for tuning into Game Changers. Make sure you follow us on all social media at Game Changers ETB. Make sure you subscribe to Empty the Bench Network on YouTube and follow them on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and TikTok
You mean
and
X?
X. Any social media, it's at ETB Network, youtube.com/ETB Network.
We hope you like this one. Sorry that this one was a little bit longer.
It had to be, you know.
It was all the soccer, all the news.
Yeah, a lot of news happened
Clearly.
this past week. Hopefully, we have another news-heavy week. Listen to Game Changers wherever you get your podcasts. Watch us on YouTube. We were presented by Playback, and
We're wicked thankful for all of you that
Yeah.
keep watching, and hope you guys like this. And if not, as always, don't tell us. 'Cause we can't handle it.
it's not that we can't handle it. It's just we don't want to hear it personally.
We don't want to hear it because we're not doing this.
We're not doing this for you. We're doing this for us.
Well, we're kind of doing it for.
We're
them.
doing
We
it
don't
for-
wanna share the
for
love of
women's
women's
sports.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's all we got for you. See you next week. Who knows what we'll talk about? This is Kelsey's microphone. She wants to show it off because it has a fun light at the bottom. And,
Anyone that knows me knows I love my LEDs. So.
and that's all we got. Thank you again. Catch you next week.
And bye, guys.
Not the ASMR, dude.
Bye, guys. And rip.
And